Greetings, guys and girls, and a very warm welcome, watchers. The sun is shining in true I am in Bangkok, Thailand, like incandescent under the magnifying glass of the gods style, and the Magpie is casting. Coming to you guys right now with a live 1 versus 1 game, fresh from the ladder, featuring spawning in the south. It is going to be the Wehrmacht forces of Unknown Legend, who I feel like I'm doing something of a disservice by, casting his games. This is going to boost his publicity at least a little bit, and he might have to think about changing his name here. We'll have to see. And spawning in the north, playing as the United States forces, it is going to be GenObi. The map here is going to be Arnhem Checkpoint, which I'm sure you're all very familiar with by now. Yes, we'll have to see what these two players want to bring to the table as they move forward into this game. Unknown Legend whoa, let's just pause here. GenObi has gone ahead and chosen the US Rifleman Rifle Company here, so he's going to have the Easy 8s, the Flamers, on his echelons. He's going to have the, what do they call it, the Get To It, the Push Hard, it's Fire Up, that's what it's called, there we go. He's going to have the White Phosphorus Artillery, and of course the Rifleman Flares. I totally forgot that they had that, apparently. It's been quite a while since I've seen this commander used, I guess. Taking this nice building here with the echelons actually is going to be slightly annoying. Where's the MG42 right now for the German player? Okay, Unknown Legend going to be sending the MG42 over to the right, slightly controversial. You normally see them just dive straight for the Dream Church here. And I think he's already being punished for this. Like, imagine if this MG was in the Dream Church, these riflemen, these echelons would be severely curtailed, and he would have control over the centre of the map. So I have to question Unknown Legend's choice here to send this squad here. Whoa, and look, I think he's actually close enough to this building that the green cover, yeah, it's not, he's so close that the cover is being ignored, so that MG42 forced to pack up immediately after losing 2 men. Absolutely not what you want here. GenObi going up to 5 squads of riflemen. Pretty standard stuff. Looks like Legend going to be fleshing out his forces with 2 Grenadier squads after having gotten the MG42. So, not really going very well. Whoa, he's going to move his Pioneers here, even though they were like halfway through a cap here. Looks like he really cares about this cutoff point quite a lot. I think I would have preferred just getting the fuel point because it takes so long to cap, and then you can always come back and get this cutoff point with some Grenadiers or whatever you like later. Rear echelons quite easy to brush aside, but that's just my opinion. These riflemen are going to pack into this building as well. And where's the second squad of Grenadiers? They are idle during all this. That is suboptimal. Okay, he's going to move them in. Okay, I don't think they were. No, they were idle during all of that. They've got no experience. So anyway, here they come. Oh, he's not going to put them in these sandbags, is he? Oh no, why are they running across negative cover? Oh no, they're just going to die to these riflemen and these rear echelons here, I feel. Unknown Legend, I think you might have been a bit presumptuous with your choice of username here. Unknown you may be, but legendary you have yet to demonstrate. So we'll have to see. What the hell? Somehow these Grenadiers just bossing those riflemen. I'm not quite... What the... Was that just... What did I miss? Those riflemen just totally owned those... Sorry, those Grenadiers just totally owned those riflemen, and I couldn't tell you why. MG42 finally gets into the Dream Church, and now he can start commanding this area. Hopefully, lesson learned. Unknown Legend, just always keep an MG in this building, mate. Every time I see Brits, or just any player spawning in the south, who, like, not putting an MG in this building, except for Overcommand, of course, because they usually can't, it always just looks bad. Damn it, these Grenadiers are on fire. Look at their accuracy against these retreating echelons. They hit like nearly every shot. That was brutal. And now he's going to take this building, it looks like. And the MG42 keeping the pressure on these riflemen. Unknown Legend beginning to claim things back a little bit here. And he's going to be going into a mortar squad. I really like this. This is really smart. Pioneers are going to come out here and grab the fuel point for him. And it looks like an MG42 squad going to be flanking left here to expand his line. For the American player, we've got a 3/4 ton ambulance. That's going to station itself actually fairly close to the front. So an interesting divergence from accepted play there for GenObi. Most American players, of course, you'll see them leave them back at the base for the in-base heals when you full squad's back, but it looks like he's going to be using it as a soft fallback point here, so he's going to be healing units and allowing them to reinforce nearer to the front, which I have to say, I'm excited to see. Let's see how GenObi manages to, see if he gets any value out of this, or if he would have been better served keeping that ambulance in the base. Let's keep our eye out for that. Rear echelon squad here going to rally back to the front, going to reinforce and heal with the ambulance just here. But these Grenadiers, let's just check the line of sight here. Okay, they don't see the ambulance, but if he was paying attention, he saw a healing symbol over those riflemen, so if he was looking and if he saw that, he will know that there's an ambulance near that position. Here comes the GR34, and if he did see that health symbol, that could be crucial, because that's going to, if he did see that, he'll start putting down barrages on the ambulance, you have to feel. Looks like he probably didn't see that, because the GR34 setting up a little further back, although, hang on, donk. No, so he's aiming at these rear echelons, and a nice opening shot there. The GR34 going to get itself some experience on its very first round. Very nice. The MG42, where did it go? Okay, so he's got them in these two buildings. I like that a lot. In fact, he could think about leapfrogging this one up to this building. That would be quite a nice thing to do, leaving this one in position to cover. These pioneers have... Oh no, he's setting up an S minefield on his fuel on the right-hand flank. Very, very nice tactics here. Unknown Legend beginning to prove me wrong here, beginning to show the prerequisites, the foundations, if you like, upon which legendariness is built. So, quite excited to see what he's going to do with this as we move forward. That GR34, boom, just still hooning shells in. And I'd have to say, I like an early GR34. I like a sub 5 minute GR34. Can go on to pay for itself very nicely. What it can also do, though, is get hung out to dry in front of a flamethrower, which is suboptimal by far. So, he needs to get out of here. He's in the heavy cover, so he will be taking bonus damage from that flamethrower. Bravely not falling back, despite Rifleman being in the hood. This is very brave. And why is he moving it this way? Surely this way is the safest direction. He's going to put them in this cover here, and he's going to set the tube up again. This is so dangerous. He really probably didn't mean to do that. I don't suppose... No, we don't have grenades yet for the American player. But he still might get this GR34. This is looking terrible. These grenadiers are elsewhere occupied. Okay, he falls back the GR34, so it looks like he will be able to get that out of there. But that could have been really close, actually. So I think he gets a little bit lucky here. 2 MG42s along with some riflemen here, going to cut down some grenadiers. Sorry, probably going to cut down some riflemen as they attempt to retreat here. Maybe, no, maybe not. Rear echelons are going to deny this building, which is very nice. And it seems that Captain Tech is going to be the tech of choice here. That captain probably wants to rally out onto the field rather than standing about idle. But yeah, Captain is going to be the tech of choice here for GenObi, and that probably hints at an upcoming Stuart. MG42 gets set up in a nice position, but it all comes down to the suppression, which he manages to get down, or at least he manages to force the retreat out of these flamer echelons. That one could have been close. So good stuff there for Unknown Legend. Let's take a look at the scoreline here. It is worth mentioning Legend at the moment up at 500 over 445, so a 55-point lead for the German player because he's managed to hold mid and right, which is very nice. He's also got his opponent's cutoff nicely controlled whilst maintaining control over his own fuel point with the S-mines and more S-mines on the crucial cutoff point. Unknown Legend, I'm beginning to see the wisdom in your choice of username here, and he's even going to come forward with these riflemen and grab this one here. So actually, he's doing really, really well against American forces at the sub 10 minute mark of the game, which is so rare. But here comes a big wave of American infantry. This is GenObi's hopes in this game right now. The captain gets set up in a building to provide cover fire, whilst riflemen move across the courtyards, looking to take up positions in this cover and start pressuring the mortar here. Sorry, the MG42, but the mortar is putting fire in. Some of the riflemen get suppressed, and actually he's going to just split this rifleman squad off to the right here, which kind of robs this main advance of its cohesiveness and force. So we'll have to see about that. Have to see whether that's going to do any good. Oh god, the mortar team just get utterly roasted and toasted, and that will be an insty loot here for GenObi. He's going to fall back these squads pretty much straight away. Whoa, that is a floating mortar. Okay, there we go. Those guys managed to get the levitating mortar under control. Hitler did have a lot of secret tech under development in World War II, and anti-gravity mortars were just one of the things that the SS labs were cooking up. So nice to see the historical accuracy spot on as per usual here in Company of Heroes 2. And okay, so now this MG is getting hung out to dry. There we go. There comes the fallback. And it looks like GenObi has managed to break this Axis strongpoint here in mid whilst I was distracted with the mortar. Didn't actually see how he was able to get infantry so close to these MGs, but he did. And that's actually really nice. He grabs himself a victory point, but it seems like Unknown Legend has transferred his attentions, you can see on the minimap here, over to the left flank. He's going to grab that victory point to maintain the status quo, keep his opponent under pressure, keep him feeling the heat. So that's all looking quite spicy so far, and I have to say, so far, Unknown Legend just seemingly the more competent of the two players. His multitasking, his unit awareness, and indeed his composition, slightly superior so far, but GenObi with this counter push into the middle, he's grabbed that mortar, and I like his army better now. The captain, the 3 squads of riflemen, the 3 squads of echelons, 2 with flamers, and wisely he does have a mine detector there, which is going to be crucial because of course there are already S-mines out on the field. So I have to say I like what I'm seeing from GenObi, and this forward ambulance has been okay. I still think it would have been better in the base because we've seen a lot of hard fallbacks, but it's been alright. So I don't mind that so much. So actually, yeah, these two players, I would say, seemingly quite evenly matched, but at the moment I think it's like 60-40 skill-wise, Unknown Legend looking pretty smart. Pardon me. Pack gun going to be added to the composition here, of course, as you would expect. He has to ward off. He will have seen the captain, so he knows that a Stuart could be coming. GenObi has the fuel, he just doesn't have the manpower, so that Stuart actually tantalizingly out of reach for the American player. S-minefields have somehow been deployed in the centre of the map. What? When did this happen? I mean, obviously very recently, because these pioneers are here, but I mean, that's just, how has this been allowed to occur, basically? MG42 in a beautiful building here, going to be suppressing a lot of riflemen. Here comes a rifle grenade, and GenObi's attention is elsewhere, but the rifle grenade just kind of whiffs, actually. I mean, that was a hit, but it just did, like, no models were killed and very little damage dealt there. So that's a little bit lame. But this MG42 in a fantastic building. Yeah, it's being pressured. A little bit of a spit roast being set up here, but it's not so bad. And he's hooning damage onto these guys. I think he probably needs to prioritise this weakened squad because they're in negative cover, and he can force the fallback on them and then get back to chewing away at this captain. The other MG42 sets up still in the Dream Church, so he's going to be able to control this central courtyard quite nicely moving forward. So let's just check the tech here for the Axis player. Sorry to bring the camera away from the action. Okay, so tech level 2, battle phase 2 has completed. He does not have his support armor core constructed yet, but he has the fuel to do so. So I imagine as soon as those pioneers fall back, he'll. In fact, is this squad at base? Yeah. So he can build that. He can build that support armor core as soon as he likes, basically. Stuart finally makes it onto the production queue for the American player GenObi, and we'll hopefully see that coming out soon. Has he forgot? Where's his mortar? Oh, he's just forgotten that he's got this GR34. That has not been used this whole time. Bit of an oversight there from the American player. That's suboptimal. And the Minesweeper echelons here getting interrupted doing their work by some Grenadiers and some Pioneers who are very angry. These S-mines very dear to the German forces. You might not know this, but in 1942 it was all the rage for German forces to for German people to have an S-mine on their mantelpiece, or just decorating the kitchen somewhere at home, or even, you know, keeping a wobbly table straight by using it to prop up one of the table legs. They were very sought after collectibles, were S-mines. Hashtag not really, Magpie, just kidding. Just in case anyone actually takes me seriously, I hate to think of the misinformation I'm spreading throughout the world. So anyway, yeah, rear echelons here going to get nice and close again. That's going to roast and toast. Whoa, he might pick up this MG42 actually, doing some great damage. That's a 2-star MG42. It is going to get out, so that's very nice there for Unknown Legend to get that unit out of there. But a nice move here from GenObi, who's just like, again, seemingly very able to easily challenge these the Dreamhouse MG, which is normally a bit of a headache. And you know, the key ingredient to doing this is the flamers provided to him by the rifle company. So this is actually quite a smart borderline meta for the map choice. I'm liking what I'm seeing here from GenObi in that regard. The S-minefields do a number on these riflemen, though, who are forced out. That was pretty painful. And here comes some more flamer riflemen. Now we've got flamer pioneers. Oh, go on, grab the flamer, grab the flamer lad. Get the pioneers and grab the flamer, my lad. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to have the doppel flamer pioneers. This is going to be good. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The double flamer squad. A rare luxury. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. Come on, roast the captain. Go on, get him. Don't capture the point. Don't capture the point. Roast the captain. Come on, before he pops your tanks. Roast the captain. All right, Magpie, pull yourself together. So, let's see. What else is going on this map? Okay, 222 is out. Where has the Stuart been this whole time? Oh my god, he's just now rallying it to the front. Okay. Has the GR34 moved yet? Okay, the GR34 is also coming back, so that's nice. And GenObi also harassing the munitions in the bottom left. Why are these pioneers not trying to take the fight from here? This would be so much better. They're going to have to fall back. Oh no, a Stuart comes in. Oh no, there's a very real chance that the flamers could be detonated here. Wow, the pack gun in a fantastic position, though. I forgot this thing was back here, so the Stuart's going to have to make itself scarce. Boom, taking 2 hits and on very low health. And the 222 is actually in the hood to pursue. No, it was facing the wrong way. Unknown Legend there, just a comedy error there. These guys actually just having a quick smoke break rather than being ready to complete the ambush there. Very frustrating, but they are, you know, picking up the Stuart there would have been like almost back-breaking for the American player. As it is, he's going to force the Stuart back for a decent amount of time here whilst it has to repair, so I don't mind that at all. Unknown Legend keeping this very tight, but you know, look at the armies here. Look at the top left, look at the top right. Remember, the Stuart isn't counted right now because the crew are out of it and repairing. GenObi is in a fantastic position. He has finished weapon racks. We do have BARs appearing on the rifleman squads here. So this is getting a little bit scary now for Unknown Legend. I can only guess, has he constructed? Yeah, so he's constructed his support armor core, and now he's going to have to hold on for a Panzer IV to arrive. And I assume it has to be a Panzer. Actually, you know what? An Oswin would be quite a spicy choice right now. Yeah, an Oswin would be downright spicy. Oh no, the 222 gets stunned though, and now it looks like the Stuart is going to claim a kill here. No, but the pack gun finds the Stuart. He needs to get the Stuart out. Ooh, okay, he gets the Stuart out and completes the kill on the 222. So GenObi looking very smart. That's a very, very spicy little exchange of play, and now he pushes up the echelons into this building where they can flame the MG42. That's going to force this MG to have to relocate here, and Unknown Legend is just getting pushed back at every turn. Losing the 222 means that his army is down at 38 under 52. Look at the top left, look at the top right. Things are starting to fall apart badly for him. The American player has been exploiting the flanks nicely, and he continues to do so on the right here. On the left, he pushed all the way up to the munitions briefly before the 222 pushed the rifleman away from this point here, so... this is looking pretty nice right now for GenObi, but, you know, Unknown Legend does for now hold the middle point. Oh, having this MG here and not in the dream house is risky. That is risky. He's risking it to grab this point. And I'm not... it seems to be paying off, but that is risky. But yeah, I mean, as long as Unknown Legend can hold on to this middle VP, you know, he's ahead on victory, he's ahead on the scoreline, so he can just play for time. He's nearly got enough fuel to have his choice of a Panzer IV or an Ostwind, and he has the bare bones of a serviceable army. I missed a squad wipe on the Grenadiers somewhere. LMG-42 upgrade just now finishing on these Grenadiers is going to add some punch to the squad, which they desperately need if they're going to compete with BAR Riflemen. Absolutely, they desperately need that. And the GR-34 for the American player, it's in this position here, is actually beginning to do some really good work now, up to 4 kills, and it's going to counter the Dream House now. And that's a problem. American forces don't normally have access to a mortar, and that's going to look really good in their hands. Whoa, these Grenadiers up to 3 stars and chewing through Riflemen here very nicely. The double Flamer Pioneers are here in the hood as well. So there's... oh, this is so spicy. Oh, God. Oh, God, that's the definition of spice. You wouldn't want to put that in your mouth. That is burning hot. And that's... I'm so glad I cast this game, because you just never get to see... This is like... have you, Overcommand players out there, you know, have you ever managed to get a flamethrower onto your Obersoldaten? Because that is similarly spicy. It's like your enemy is doomed. It's like they try and take the Obersoldaten up close, they die. They try to take them at range, they die. It's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. Looks like this Stuart here has gotten the pack gun though, and it is going to complete the kill on this unit here, which is turbo irritating here for Unknown Legend. But he's going to be going into some Panzer Grenadiers, which I think I like. I don't know, they might just be too fragile, they might just die in the face of this many BARs, but we'll have to see. I think I like the Panzer Grenadiers. And a Panzer IV, which I very much like. I think the Ostwind is an okay choice, but the Ostwind is very easy to counter. You know, a Sherman, for example, or dare I say, an Easy 8 will do that. The Panzer IV is a much more robust choice. It has a lot more game against a wider variety of targets, and to be honest, its DPS against infantry, at least until the Ostwind gets to 2-star, is comparable. An Ostwind on the move doesn't do that much damage, and a Panzer IV on the move kind of still does against infantry. Ostwinds stationary do a good amount of damage, and once an Ostwind gets to 2-star, it does a reasonable amount of damage. Ooh, Panzer Grau. Okay, cool. So anyway, here comes the Panzer IV, and it looks like it's going to find the Stuart straight away, which is very nice. Let's see if he's going to be chasing the light tank or not. Looks like he is, but a little late, so he's not going to catch it. On the right flank, somehow the German forces have secured this VP. I didn't see how that actually happened, but it looks like the Flamer Pioneers here going to be taking on more than they can handle. A nice fallback though, good timing there from Unknown Legend. Going to save the spicy Pioneer squad. The Panzer IV getting stuck in here. MG42 upgrade about to finish. So this is all looking very good. These riflemen, bear in mind though, they're veterans, so they do have the anti-vehicle rifle grenade, so he has to be careful here with his Panzer. There is no AT gun though, actually, for the American forces. And Unknown Legend has just gotten his Major out not that long ago, which is actually... which actually means that there's a little window of time here where this Panzer IV, I mean, there's just nothing on the field that can take it. So this Panzer IV right now is the dominant force on the field, and another squad of Panzer Grenadiers. Unknown Legend committing very hard to the elite infantry here for the Wehrmacht forces. That's very nice to see. These Panzer Grenadiers haven't actually felt combat yet. They've not had their first shots fired in anger, their first taste of the excitement that is combat. Whoa, this MG has to get out though. I don't know if Unknown Legend is paying attention. Meanwhile, on the right flank, this Panzer IV gets its engine broken, and there is a Stuart in the hood. It shouldn't die, but the Stuart could get into the rear armour and do some actual work here. If he destroys the main gun, this could be absolutely devastating. Oh no, this Panzer IV is utterly stricken. Oh, this is a travesty. The Zook on the rifleman and the Stuart in the hood is going to be enough to bring down the Panzer IV, and that is devastating. Boom. There it goes, and that's a massive swing. As I was just saying, the Panzer IV was the dominant force on the field here, and without that, Unknown Legend now is in a very dire position. To his credit, he's taking the victory point on the left, and he's taking the victory point in the middle. So, you know, he's definitely still fighting, but I worry for him now. I worry. I don't know what he's... And if the American player gets an Easy 8 out, I mean... Nothing from the support armor core really counters an easy 8. I mean, I think Unknown Legend is forced into Stugs here. Stugs. But I just don't think a Stug's going to be... well, it might be enough. It's just a very precarious choice. But I think he's... A, he's priced into Stugs, and B, he needs the utility of Stugs. Wow, he's actually going to go mobile defense. Okay, this is... and he's using the counterattack tactics there. He used it briefly just to grab this point. Is it called counterattack tactics? Yeah. So I like that a lot. Look at the capture rate on this. This is absolutely spicy here. So it's nice to see him using the abilities afforded to him by this commander. In fact, seemingly, it looks like he picked this commander just to grab that. Unless he's not thinking about using a Puma, is he? I mean, a Puma would be okay, but there's an easy 8 on the queue, you know? So I'm not sure. Hang on, let's just confirm. Is this an easy 8? Or is it a regular Sherman? It's a regular Sherman? Not sure what I make of that. I think GenObi would have been better. So, I mean, he had the fuel. He could have purchased an easy 8. Possibly a misclick, but I doubt it. Maybe he just thinks he's killed his opponent's Panzer IV. I mean, he doesn't have an AT gun. He's got a few Zooks on his infantry, so maybe he's going to be okay. And the Sherman with high-velocity shells, armor-piercing shells rather, is quite good. Look at these guys, the Flamer brothers. A Sherman with the AP shells turned on is actually okay against Panzer IVs and below, so maybe he just thought that he'd rather have the HE shells at his disposal. Anyway, Panzerfaust here, going to tag the Stuart. That's quite nice, but the crew are just going to use the American superglue and repair that in an instant. But, there we go. And now they're going to be able to just drive away straight away. What are these Panzer Grenadiers doing? They are so far behind enemy lines. He needs to fall back. They're in negative cover, and there's a Sherman right here. That hurts. Oh no, Unknown Legend, don't give away a free unit here. I can't help but feel those Panzer Grenadiers are going to die. Only one left now, and the Sherman with HE shells does not take prisoners. He manages to get behind a line of sight blocker here, but the Sherman comes crushing through. And there's riflemen in this building. That's a dead Panzer Grenadier for shout. Ah, teary me. And that is like the worst thing right now for Unknown Legend. This is like a loss he can ill afford. And the Puma is here, and Pumas are very good against Shermans actually. I had a game earlier. It's actually on the channel, and by earlier I mean like months and months ago, where I used like one Puma to face off like 3 Shermans, and I managed to kill them all somehow during the course of the game. It was pretty cool. Oh dearie me, he loses the Puma, and I mean, he's just lost a Panzer IV, a Puma, and a Panzer Grenadier squad. He is hemorrhaging units. He is still in this on the scoreline, you know. The scores are close. And in fact, somehow his resource income is actually respectable. 30 fuel, 32 munitions. So I guess this isn't over, but I feel like Unknown Legend has lost so much in this last phase of play. It's going to be very difficult for him to salvage a real game out of this. Green as green can be. I mean, let's think about this realistically. You're Unknown Legend right now. What do you do? I mean, he needs more anti-tank. That is the pressing priority. I guess you build pack guns, but I don't like the pack gun because it doesn't help against the way, you know, he's being beaten like horrendously. Like, I mean, he's got 2 squads of Pioneers, an MG42. A Grenadier squad and a Panzer Grenadier squad, and he's facing down this American infantry wall. We're talking a captain, 3 squads of riflemen with BARs and Zooks, 2 squads of echelons, 1 with Flamer, and a GR34. Like, that is not an infantry fight he's winning right now. So Unknown Legend needs to spend his manpower on things to help him win the infantry fight, but he desperately needs AT as well. Oh no, don't be losing your Panzer Grens here. He's going to lose the Panzer Grens, and that's devastating. That is backbreaking. He can ill afford this. Dear God, he somehow gets that squad out of there. I think if he'd have lost that squad, that would have actually just been game. But a Sherman here does get hit by a Faust, but of course the American superglue can just fix that in 2 seconds. Pop, there we go, and he's done. A rifle grenade going to try and find the vehicle crew as they're supergluing. Just a moment too late there for Unknown Legend, but I have to applaud the thought. And here come the Ostripin reserves. Dear God, he gets so lucky. He rolls a double LMG-42. That's only the 2nd time I think I've ever seen that. That's pretty cool. That's so lucky. And with these Ostripin coming in, you know, I said he needs something to help him fight the infantry fight. This really helps. Like, that's a lot. That is a real big deal. That's really good, actually. Unknown Legend actually using this commander very effectively, I think, except for the Puma, which was dire. You know, he's actually looking quite smart with this commander right now. Yeah? Apparently the Panzer Grenadiers agree. So these Ostermen are going to come forward. He's going to re-grab his cutoff point, and I like the way he's prioritising his actions here. You know, these Ostermen are not moving randomly throughout the map, but he's not panicking. You know, he's reconnecting his fuel, and that is the priority right now. I like it. I like it a lot. This is looking very good. Sherman here is going to be taking shots at long range. There's not a lot you can do about this. The Ostermen will play for time, but they will have to fall back here. Pat gun gets set up in a nice position actually. Oh, this is very nice. And he reconnects his fuel just like that. There we go. And, you know, if he gets another Panzer IV out, or maybe a Panzer IV command tank, you know, then he can start playing this game again? I feel like he's so far behind already, though. Wehrmacht are a very unforgiving faction. I would say they're the most unforgiving faction in the game, possibly tied with British forces, actually. But they're both very unforgiving factions. Oh no. Oh no, the echelons here. Oh dear, just finding a great spot to roast and toast some Axis infantry there. And now the Sherman is pushing through here on the right flank. The GR-34 raining shots in. The pack turns to face, but it's only going to get one shot before the Sherman puts paid to it. Kaboom! Oh wow, there we go. And it looks like he might lose this MG-42, which is a 3-star unit as well. The GR-34 claims it. The shot from the skies comes in, and the Stug is the choice, but Unknown Legend knows it's over, and he chooses this moment to GG out the game, and you cannot blame him. He put up a very good fight there, and I applaud a lot of his positioning, his decision-making, his strategies, his tactics. You know, he did a lot of very smart things that game. But he lost the Panzer IV needlessly. You have to play. With Wehrmacht, you have to realise they're a very unforgiving faction, and you cannot play your armour that fast and loose. You have to play it defensively. You have to always bear in mind, what happens if the engine gets broken right now? Is that a dead Panzer IV? And if the answer is yes, you're probably overexposing it. So, yeah, I mean, the Panzer IV was overexposed, which is funny to say because it really was just a Stuart and a Rifleman squad that brought it down. But, I mean, you know, that's how fragile a Panzer IV is. Until it's at least 2-star veteran, you have to look after that thing very, very closely. Treat it like your child. A very massive, smoky, dirty, diesel-guzzling child. Because, you know, that's it. Once you lose that Panzer IV, if you lose that Panzer IV before it makes a Star of Veterancy, very soon after it's come out, that is almost always game in one way or another for the Axis forces. They are just that unforgiving. You cannot tech to Battle Phase 2, build a support armor corps, build a Panzer IV, that's so much fuel, and then have that Panzer IV die straight away. And as we saw, you know, Unknown Legend was never really able to get out from under that deficit. And also, losing that squad of Panzer Grenadiers who had no business pursuing this far north, that was also devastating, and it really meant that he was unable to assemble a fighting force again for the rest of the game. The double Ostrogin with LMG-42s was nice, and it kind of gave him a shot at reconnecting his fuel, and it almost looked like it was going to stabilise him, but it wasn't enough in the end. Look, it even had a fuel cache here. I didn't comment on that. That's very nice. But yeah, it wasn't enough, and Unknown Legend is going to fall in this game. But I think he put up a good fight, and I would be game to cast more of his games. For GenObi, that was just a smooth fight from start to finish. I didn't see any glaring mistakes out of him. He was able to swipe the GR-34 early on, which was nice, and he was able to ride the power of the American infantry to success throughout that game. The Riflemen, the Captain, the BARs, the Zooks, all very strong, all kicking ass. He took some magnificent fights in centre, able to consistently displace the MG-42 in the Dream Church. No easy feat by any means. And he was also able to deal with Unknown Legend pushing across a very wide front on both sides of the map in the early and mid game. And you know, I mean, let's not forget, GenObi for the first 10 minutes of the game just looked inferior to Unknown Legend, really. I mean, you know, up to the 10-minute mark, Unknown Legend was just bossing it with Grenadiers and Pioneers and MGs and Mortars against Riflemen, more or less. So, yeah, GenObi coming back there for a very nice win, and that is well earned. So, yes, that will conclude this video. I'm going to try and upload it. Thai internet being what it is, it may be quite difficult. But for now, this is Magpie 842 signing out.